here. Took many, many efforts and the rolling of many dice, but we scared him all away. Now, my son, it's up to you to take care of these dudes, because I don't think our long-term strategy was kind of, looking back, I realize now some of the things we did were right, many of the things we did were wrong. Do as we did, not as we said we did. Surely continue to go wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a lot of time on my hands, but I did want to continue to waste time. Come out here. Can you hear the music, Tim? This will be the latest wrinkle, is trying to run audio and trying to see if we've got audio. I've got document cam. Remember when I was talking about the Fifth Element jump? Folks, here's the thing about me and big projects. Don't rely on them, because the heart is there, especially in the beginning. But man, I lose interest. So I was doing this. Lower this music down a little. Just go. Just get a little distracted from me. You'll tell me. Previously, also, folks, I had this bright idea to just like stream of conscious, run these live streams, and then throw them into the StreamYard patent pending AI. Let us make your shorts for you. Computer algorithmic generator. And apparently it, along with this hip AI music, courtesy of Sunyo AI and me, telling Sunyo to be like, these kids and their terrible music, let me do it too, so I can blight them out of existence. Strike at them where they live. Like some sort of out-of-date vaporwave Gargamel. Waging a past due library book metaphor of stale central casting ennui towards the youth of America. Anywho, we were going from Percumen to the Fifth Element, and I got distracted. I had worked on some ideas for making the jump chains that are narrative based solo gaming adventures. Think of them like D&D, like Traveler, like GURPS, if you will, but without the numbers, without the die mechanics. So for a lot of traditional TTRPG folk, this is that element of story gaming that some people just say, that's just not an RP, man. That's just not a game. That's just creative storytelling. Hey, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. Not here to pick sides or to rabble rouse or start any fights. Just here to groove with you. Here to move with you. Get up. Move around the table. Throw some dice around. May help you feel it. No, it helps me. Tim, do you hear the music, or am I just, is this like, what's going on out here? Anybody? Folks, don't worry about it. I am just literally doing this for my health. That's cool. I don't know how switching the camera view somehow made this worse. I hear the music. There you go. Well, I can rely upon you. Tim actually is the kind of individual who probably hears like the music all the time. Tim was probably like, he's like, they're like, I totally hear the music. Does anyone besides Tim hear the music? Okay, folks. So the jump change, it was confusing because there was stuff playing on the radio too. That was the music, bro. Cheggs Chambers, good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Well, so I'm gonna have to look it down, Cheggs. Tim Frey hears the music. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, here we go. So, telling you a little bit of stories as we move on, and hopefully at the end we're going to end up with some intel and information, some audio-visual cues that we're going to be able to cut up and will make sense as little mini vids that will work. So, number one, I'll tell you this is what's happening. I got distracted off the jump chain adventure because I got pulled into this notion of doing a choose your own adventure role play. You got Mario Heat jumping in on Twitch, feeling the love, saying, loving the SNES action game rock soundtrack. And the bad news was the prompt was trying to get it to play Stun O. I think the AI algorithms have a lot to work on. Cheggs Chambers says, I couldn't hear you. The tunes were too loud. Well, you know what they say. The tunes are too loud. They get distract you from the speakers. So let me turn that shit down for you, friend. You don't want that. Turn it down a little bit more. Turn it down the scotch. We don't want people having to struggle to hear. So, running through some ideas that I may have mentioned, and talking about leading in through some stuff. There's this thing called the Worm Choose Your Own Adventure. It's an interactive choose your own adventure, on a website. These choose your own adventures, it's not like the little game books from our youth. In the parlance of online terminology and communities, it's evolved a little. It's a little bit like the jump chain stuff, except that these aren't things that you necessarily imagine your little protagonist going from one to the other. Like the jump chains are specifically conceptualized and thought of as how they work. These choose your own adventures, when you find them online, they're either static images that you might find on certain, like Tumblr-esque type of websites, or the interactive ones. You light them up and different options will be available for you, and what they are is, it's much like the jump chains. It's like you have this conception of building a character in an environment, like Darth Lord of the Sith, or a person in Battlestar Galactica or whatever. Or there are these, like, crazy, isekai adventures. The dad got reincarnated as a sex omelet in the land of 1,000 dances or whatever. You know, and you make various choices for various different point picks. You take various drawbacks for various different point alignments or whatever. So you got this huge, gigantic one called the Worm CYOA. And me and this other genius player got the idea to do Fallout 3, but in the Worm CYOA. So it dovetailed in this thing that I was doing with kind of having, trying to bring more traditional RP elements into jump chains or CYO narrative, these narrative game spheres that traditionally are just either used as springboards for generating kind of, OC fanfic, or just purely just to generate builds, with just people just geek out on the various builds that are available on these CYOA and jump chain documents, and they just kind of leave it at that sometimes. But if you're gonna go through and try and play these worlds or play these characters through these worlds, what kind of game mechanics can you bring without losing the essence of the jump chainosity, without changing them into just another TTRPG or just another role-playing game? So, I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about, and I have some experience and some frame of reference because I've talked about on this channel before of the style of game playing called FKR, based on Free Kriegspiel play, which influenced Dave Arneson, one of the founders of the hobby, who, along with Gary Gygax, came up with the original RPG, TTRPG, Dungeons and Dragons. So I came up with this, spitballing, going back and forth with ChatGPT. I came up with this kind of narrative-only jump chain framework, where instead of using, exceptional stat numbers to generate modifiers on a roll, either an opposed roll, an opposed action roll, or just a chance roll to beat a presumed difficulty number. You could just use the number of perks you had that were applicable or at play. So narrative modifier based resolution mechanic. Again, I was working with ChatGPT here, so give some of this writing here. I ended up changing it. First, everybody who knows TTRPGs knows that the 2d6 the 2d6 rules die set is like ubiquitous because of the vaunted what do they call that? That magical essence of the holy crap. The probability curve. What do they call that? The I probably have it written down here. I don't know why I'm blanking on this word. Here's Chex Chambers writes, I've been searching for a copy of the Stainless Steel Rat CYOA, but no luck yet. Oh, it'll be out there somewhere. Gotta keep on searching. Bell curve. Thank you, Chex Chambers. Chex Chambers with the save. Here we go. So in jump chains, in the jump change community, they love the D8 for whatever reason instead of the D6. So going with that, I looked and saw whether or not what would happen if you used D8s instead of D6s And this is something that I would definitely need ChatGPT to help me with because my math skills are abysmal. And basically, it said, oh, basically, like the bell curve will just be flattened. It said, so it still works. It'll just make it technically more difficult, a little bit more Souls-like. Well, it didn't say that, but I say that. But I like that. Here we go. So we've got companion assistance rules, like much like in the sense of you play like a lot of modern, what could be considered, story based or story, like a lot of members of the old school Renaissance would look down their nose at Powered by the Apocalypse games or 24XX games by Jason Toshi or whatever his name is. A lot of them will have just simple assistance rules for to be aided in they have very simple die mechanic resolution rules, and you get like at most like a +1 to the roll if you have a companion or assistance. And so it's very simpler here. We have the companion assistance rules, and again it adds the modifiers to the roll, but instead of having 25 different modifiers from 18 different stats, it's just like, how many relevant perks do you have? And you got 2, it's +2. You got a companion with you? Okay, one companion can add a +1. This is his medalist sleep token. You're damn right this is a medalist sleep token. You're damn right it says medalist sleep token. $100. Yes. And for all the sleep token fans in the house, we got a new one from Guy in the Mask and the Boys. This is their latest one. I can't believe you suckers think this is metal. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Cruising around a Monday afternoon. Here are the incredible sounds of Sleep Token, the most metal band in the world. It's not Sleep Token. Might as well be. Yeah. A gift for a new Patreon video, The Rise of Sleep Token. Over my dead body. Let's get a video from me about Sleep Token the day they fall down. Yeah. Sleep Token, you must be joking. Alright. Tell me when the music gets loud enough, but you can still hear me. And I'll tell you the rules of the game. I'll do it to the beat. So the music will make the rules stick into your brain. You roll the D8s to generate your then you figure out what happened. You roll it, yeah. Shake it, madam. I'm legit curious to hear your opinion on them. Lately, it's all people talk about how haters are just gatekeeping and jealous. Yeah, we're jealous that this is as metal Sleep Token is. All right, get ready for it. You can swap out the 2d6 for a 2d8 in your resolution system and still maintain a functional probability curve. But it needs minor adjustments to preserve balance, dramatic tension. 2d8 compatible conversion, stable probability, rocket. 2d6, 5 will equal our 8. It's very likely. If you got a 7, that'll be a 10. Moderate. 9 equals a 12. That's challenging now. 2d6 11 is our new 14. That's rare. 12. 12 was the best you could do, but now that's 16. Extremely rare. Roll 2d8 plus modifiers. Your goal is to beat or meet the adjusted PN. Ow! Meanwhile, I had a whole video about Sleep Token. Anyway, folks, modifiers still work as is. Critical success will be on a 15 plus. Critical failure on a 3 or lower. You can add optional exploding dice, roll an additional d6 or d8 if a natural 12 or 16. But I think it could work. Oh. Like I said, I have the companion rules. And then we also have my Jump Chain Narrative Oracle. Let me blow it on music. I'll lower the music so you can fucking hear me, yeah. I'll lower the music so you can fucking hear me, you fucking bitches. And I'll show you how I'm going to do this with Fallout. This Fallout 3 came out in 2008. So I have several movies from 2008 that I watched, so I can cut them all up. Source table structure. Prepare 5 tables. I got more than 5, each representing a distinct intellectual property. E.g. anime, film, novel, video game. Each table contains at least 8 lines of text in that IP dialogue. We got so many of them. Daily line selection. Roll 1d8 once per table to draw 1 line from each. 5 lines total. This creates the daily narrative spread. If the table exceeds 8 entries, divide into subtables and roll again to resolve. So you can do multiple rolls on each table because I've got more than 8 entries for each of the intellectual properties. Word count averaging. Count the number of words in each of the 5 selected lines. Calculate the average word count, route it to the nearest whole number. The number defines your cut-up segmentation line, and we cut it up in a non-line cut-up machine. Feed the 5 lines spread into the cut-up engine. Manual or digital. Use the average word count to segment combined text. The result is a set of cut-up narrative fragments. Interpretation, classic mode. Interpret each fragment by tone, symbol, or language, assigning them encounter types. Use intuition or roll 1d8. Challenge, threat, boon, reward, NPC encounter, location setting, hidden clue, foreshadowing, emotional revelation, memory flashback, echo of jumper's past. You really won't need to do that because all of them pretty much have easy to understand what they will mean. Of course, the Fallout 3 remake is incoming because it's on the nostalgia loop. That's why they made the show again. Here's an interpretation quick play mode. You skip the fragment analysis entirely. Read the entire cut-up output aloud or silently as a singular surreal prompt to your event description. Use as the prompt for the jumper's full day, episode, or encounter. This option is ideal for minimal prep or more poetic storytelling. And I also have a 1d8 table for passage of time. I'm trying to figure out how long time has passed in like a jump or in a CYO role play. There you go. And so then later on, I'm going to go. I have to cut it short because, I got 20 minutes. I think I can still hang out with you. I also have the Fallout RPG here. Hey, we Jonaside here with us. I have the Fallout TTRPG from Modiphius. Now, I'm not interested in their learning their mechanic. I really don't think that the Modiphius 2d20 system does it for me at all, really. But what I want to talk to you guys, and presumably, potentially, at some point in the timelines of reality, a girl, um, is the fact that, even if you don't decide to use the core mechanics of the Fallout role-playing game by Modifius, if you're doing a solo role-playing, or if you're doing role-playing in any system, and you're interested in game playing in Fallout, then this is going to be a great resource because, look, it's got, you know, genre specific, not beyond genre specific, it's got, IP specific, you know, random tables, and it's got all the weapons listed and stuff. And so even if you don't get into the nitty-gritty of the specific mechanics of the system, you're still going to benefit from knowing and having a resource available that lets you know, oh, here are the different, mods that are canonical to put on a shotgun in the world of Fallout, and here's how they handle, scavenging for supplies, or how to determine loot allocation in the traditional Fallout TTRPG. It might not be the system that you decide to end up using or going with. Like I just think that things benefit just from 2d6 opposed roll. You know what I mean? And really doesn't. I'm not really into crunchy systems at all. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to be able to take a lot from having the tables, available in there, or just knowing, seeing like, having, basically being able to have a gander at, if you could see and understand numbers, you're going to be able to gauge what relatively the strength of various monsters relative to other monsters or beasts is. And that's going to be information that you're going to be able to glean and use and do something with, even if you decide not to use the central underlining core mechanic of the system. So I've just been having a great time, getting involved in this doing this CYOA role play. Though I'll be honest, it goes to show you, if in anything, we talk about, oh man, it's difficult to find, real life players to interact with and deal with. And then we have to, oh, you gotta go online. And even when you go online, sometimes it's like, it's like, oh man, like that can be difficult too, people getting their heads together, even just in online spaces, it's a nightmare. Or getting, it's not like a nightmare, but you know how it is. But what has been joyous is looking back at the fall, because I put like Fallout 3 was one of those games when it came out. I put like, a bajillion hours into it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that don't ask me, like, that doesn't mean that I'm like good at it. You know what I mean? Or I can like, do some sort of, know how to do like an optimized build or anything, or like have things memorized, whatever. It just means that I played it a lot. You know what I mean? I try to explain it to people sometimes. Just because I claim that some game is one of my favorite games, doesn't mean that I'm good at it. You know what I mean? Don't get that twisted. So, getting into the Fallout, getting into all things Fallout, rocking the TTRPG, gleaning it for information, rocking 2008, and I even got out the hold on, bear with me. Oh, and as I was saying before, it was my dream. Well, we say a little genocide at work. It was my dream that I was going to be able to do this stuff on StreamYard, especially the background music, and that it would automatically just cut everything into like a dozen clips, with its AI generating skill. But apparently, one of the things is like what it doesn't want to do is that it doesn't want to clip just music by itself. I was like, "Oh, I gotta talk over everything." Now that's the key. You gotta talk over everything, and then that'll make it happen. All right, we'll see. Hold on. Bear with me. Stay distracted. Stay undistracted. Here you go. This person shall entertain you. Be more Fallout. In the radiant lands of tomorrow, there will always be cat people fighting for the future of tomorrow against Lady J from G.I. And then Pink Teddy Bear with attitude shows up, and you know you're in trouble, right? Anyway, look, let me get to the tarot cards. Hold on, bear with me. But lately, everything's been Fallout. Everything's Fallout, Fallout, Fallout. And I'm gonna tell you something. If this other player doesn't like, they're good though. Like, of course, I was like just about to be like, this individual, they're falling off, and you know what I mean. Blah blah blah. They gotta get back in this thing. They better show up more. Blah blah blah. Then all of a sudden, of course, they closed. It's like, oh, man. I even got the Fallout. I've had it for a while. It's not like I got it new, but like, hold on. What's this side here? This lady. I want to thank Steel Panther for providing the background music. No, it's not Steel Panther. It's your mom. How's everyone doing on this Monday? It's Monday, right? Oh shoot! There's also I want to do this because there's a Chase Scott Garrity video where he loses his shit. Hold on. You got 10 minutes. I gotta do this. Hold on. Wait. This is too funny. The sun. Yo, how good is that? The sun. Good. It's hot here in mid 80s. The music, bringing it back. The sun. Look at that. That beautiful dog bringing us that bobblehead chew toy. The sun will come out tomorrow, and all shall be revealed. Sunlight is the cleanser. Peeling back. Darkness tomorrow. I'm still misunderstood. Let me pause this for a second. Hold on. No, but honestly, that's a beautiful card. The sun. The sun. The sun. Blessings. Blessings upon the land. Sunlight comes, discharges the fears and shadows that might have been born of nightmares or insecurities of the night before. Reassures us, lets us know that everything's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. We've made it. We made it through again. And assures us that life is everlasting, eternal, and will go on. Nothing to be hung up about. The sunlight is always forever. Let me find this video. Yo, this is a good one. So I saw this one today. This is like definitely him being like, as the kids say, on one. Like he's intense on this one. So let me just Golden Coin 100 joining us on Kick. You might be number one on Kick. I think you're number one on Kick, kid. The Golden Coin 100 grabbing that gold medal on Kick. We had Mario Heat. We had Tim Frey grabbing that gold on YouTube. Chegs grabbing that silver on YouTube. Mario Heat grabbing that gold on Twitch. Genocide grabbing that bronze on YouTube. And Golden Coin 100 grabbing that silver, grabbing that gold on Kick, grabbing that silver on Twitch. Good on you, Golden Coin 100. As we go out on a Garibay with a video entitled, hold on, let me see this, hold on. Should not wildly different biologies, that is not how you spell biologies, I do not believe, have an impact on the game. Human improvement, exclamation point. Fair use, fair use, fair use. The purpose of this video is to talk about the words and expression and ideas of J. Scott Garibay in the free marketplace of ideas. Hey, that's all. That's all. Not to degrade, denigrate, make fun, besmirch, or anything like that. It's fair use. Free marketplace of ideas. We just want to talk about it.
Hi, friends. It's your pal, Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Daggerheart, and we're going to talk about how massively important conversations that only used to happen on Dungeons & Dragons are now happening on Daggerheart. So, like, for instance, Dave Thomivore, he is all in on Daggerheart at this point, even though his initial review was, "This is garbage. You can have my copy. Daggerheart sucks. Hey, everybody, I love Daggerheart."
That's not what Dave Walken Thermivore said. He basically just said the first video was, "Hey, I like it. I like the system. But you know what? Honestly, having looked at all these alien beings interacting together and being in the same biosphere, it just seems like D&D 5e altogether again. I'm not really down for another D&D 5e. So I'm going to give my my copy away. Just it's not for me." That's all it was. It was system's great, system works, system is okay. I'm just not into the world that it gives us. So I don't need another one of these. That's why I'm giving it away. That's it. That's all the review was. That was it. And then he came back and said, "Oh, I was misinformed. I thought all of these beings were supposed to be living on the same planet or ecosystem, or however you want to characterize it together. It turns out they're all basically plug and play, and they're all from different genres and different worlds. You wouldn't necessarily have them all coexisting together." That was it. I mean, whether or not he was kissing ass, whether or not he was hedging his bets or being a fencer, I don't really care. I don't really give a shit. You know what I mean? But it certainly wasn't how this guy's characterizing it. Though I think I paused it on a miraculously great space.
Hard, like, and actually I have the same thing. I literally have a video like, "I hate Daggerheart, the release sucked," right? And now I'm like, Daggerheart's the best, right? And so one thing I want you to understand, okay, this is a Scott Garibay original. The world is only processed intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually.
That's not a Scott Garibay original. Like, I'm sure that there's plenty of other people that have articulated that meaningless statement several times before.
And you suck because you are only processing the world intellectually. You are antiquated nonsense person.
Okay. Well, that's a terrible thing to say to other human beings, especially as a person that's supposed to be an evangelical Christian who technically is part of your persona, is supposed to be reaching the lost and bringing the message to us. Are you doing that? No, you're telling us that we suck.
You suck. You suck, right? If you haven't processed everything in your life, intellectually, emotionally, and personally, you are a shadow of a human being and you suck as a person. get good. Catch.
You know, if you're telling people that they suck just because they haven't thought about the world the way you particularly thought about the world, I wouldn't say you suck, but you may have work to do on yourself as a human being. How's that sound?
Up, right? And the reality, and that's just it. That's what's happening with Daggerheart. Is me and Dave Thomavore have had intellectual. Everybody has an intellectual reaction. That's what I think. Everybody, blah 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 blah. Who cares, right? Blah blah blah. You're using your brain, whatever, right? Like, are you using your heart? I want to know how you feel.
I think this guy has moments of particularly no clarity. Can I say that? I want to make sure that I'm safe here within the confines of, I don't want to insult anybody. You know what I mean?
Feel about Daggerheart. And this is really interesting. This is new. And like me and Dave Thomavore are feeling about Daggerheart.
I don't think there's, if you watch you know what I mean? You get it, man. You and I, we understand what's going on here. Okay, Sam, I mean, I like the movie too, but you know, the phonies and the fakes and the ones that don't get it, they upset you too. They piss you off. Yeah, I mean, no one likes a phony and a fake. Are you okay? Never been better, man. I've never been better. We've never been better. We see through it, man. You, me, and Dave Thermivore. We see through the Daggerheart illusion. Okay, buddy.
That's fascinating. That's new. That's fresh. Okay. And then I'm the only person in the world who's actually fully processed. I have an intellectual, an emotional, and a spiritual review of Daggerheart on
Okay, brother.
my channel. I'm the only person in the world who's done it, who's actually understood. And I'm the only person that understands Daggerheart. The only person who's ever read it.
You're the only person who understands Daggerheart. Okay, buddy.
Processed it and actually understands it. Same as and now I'm the only person in the world who understands Dungeons and Dragons and Daggerheart, right?
Now you're the only person who understands Dungeons and Dragons and Daggerheart. Okay, buddy.
Because the rest of you don't even know how to turn on the thermo, right? Like
how to turn on the thermo. Okay, buddy. Now we're in special language territory. Okay, friend. Okay.
Yeah, like you've never seen the world in thermographic, right? And
I have never seen the world in thermographic. You know why? Because human being eyes don't work that way. You know what I mean? If I was an octopus, maybe I'd see the world in ultraviolet because I hear that they can do that. Guess what? Not an octopus. Therefore, it hasn't happened.
I've seen it in thermographic.
No, you have not. Okay, but if you think you have, maybe they're like, does he mean like special goggles?
Regular visual and in a lens you don't even know exists, right? And so, but what's really fascinating is
special lenses.
So Dave Thomavore came in and he did a review of the species, and he said, are the Daggerheart species, all 18 of them, are they real? Do they matter? Is there anything here, right? And he asked this brilliant question. He said, should wildly different biologies impact the game? Now, first of all, he's wrong. Daggerheart is not a game. It's a human improvement engine, exactly like Dungeons and Dragons.
But Morkborg is a game. Shadow Dark is a game. But Daggerheart is a human improvement engine.
As Gary injected it with his legacy.
He injected it.
Right? And if you don't understand, I got a whole video on it. You gotta go back.
You got several videos on it.
I can watch my stuff. I'm not gonna repeat myself. Okay. And by the way,
yeah, you are. Prediction. J. Scott Garrity shall repeat himself. I believe I will get that right. J. Scott Garrity shall repeat himself.
Wait, new rule. Don't ask me to repeat myself in my
New rule. No, I won't say it.
comments, right? If you're like, oh, hey, Scott, answer this question for me that's already existing in a video, you can bargle off.
This is free life advice to J. Scott Garrity. Never, ever say what you just said, because all that's going to happen, if anything at all, is everyone's going to bombard your comment section with requests for you to do what you just said. Don't tell me to do this.
I ain't doing it no more. You watch my stuff or you suffer. It's your choice, right? I'm not.
Well, I can't do both.
I'm not giving Cliff Notes every 10 minutes in the comments.
I think you will.
All right, let's keep moving. So this is a brilliant question. But what I thought was really interesting was he's coming in and he's like, hey, everybody. And I thought this was really fascinating. This conversation, this doesn't happen for OSC. This doesn't happen for Shadow Dark. And people are like, we don't need to have these conversations on Shadow Dark or OSC or masks, right? And the reason why is they're all D&D clones, right?
None of the, I mean, those are like 3 different games.
All just also rans, right? But people are like, oh no, we need to have this conversation about Daggerheart because it's not an also ran. It's not a D&D clone. It is a TTRPG that actually matters. That is fascinating. That is really fascinating. That is fascinating, right?
It's fascinating as we'll be trying to figure out what's your rule for what makes a TTRPG matter versus what makes a TTRPG not matter.
So I just think that's incredible, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to give you my answer real quick. No, you're right. Like Daggerheart kills dwarves, right? They're like, hey, dwarves should be able to be good in mountains and they should be able to make magical stuff and they should be curmudgeonly. And Daggerheart's like, no, there's no. You're like, what's the difference between a dwarf and an elf? There's no dwarf. There's no difference between a dwarf and an elf. Ridgeborn, you could have a Ridgeborn ribbit. Right?
No, there's not a difference between some dwarves and not a difference between some elves, and there's a difference between dwarves and other dwarves. There's some dwarves that'll be similar to some elves. There'll be some elves that are similar to some dwarves. And there'll be some elves that are totally dissimilar to other elves, while simultaneously be similar to some dwarves. Get it?
Right? We don't care. If you have a Ridgeborn Simia, Ridgeborn, that should belong to dwarves. It doesn't, right? And I'm not going to pretend it is a loss. It is a loss. So what's the gain? We fix the world. We fix the world. You understand that?
What's the correlation between allowing flexibility in character construction while allowing people choice in different species to run, but not allowing, but also then fixing the world?
Telling people your biology doesn't matter, right? Winston Churchill was a lump. He was not an impressive guy. He changed the world.
I believe he had a distinguished military career before he became a politician, but I have to look into that.
Biology didn't matter. He was a champion, right? And so the point is, we're making sacrifices. We're sacrificing the fun at the table to fix the freaking world. Do you understand that?
Right every single wrong. Got tiger blood.
That's what's happening. And that's why Daggerheart is not a game. It is a human improvement engine.
Just like what I did for my friend, J. Scott Garrity.
They're saying, your biology doesn't matter. Rock on, Short King.
Is that what it's saying?
Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you
come to my video section, my comment section, you comment below me. J. Scott Garrity may delete your comments, but I never will. I have a free speech zone. You can say crap about me. You can say crap about J. Scott Garrity. I won't delete it.
Get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider like subscribing and have a fetch millennium.
No. Fetch. He's getting angry about the fetch millennium. I think it's upset because I stopped talking. I don't know if it's because I stopped talking about it, but he gets pissed. Yeah. I gotta go, folks. Here we go. Take a quick look at the live chat before I jet on out of here. Oh, Sly Stone passed away. I think died years ago. Sounds more like Jeffro Scott Garrity today. Wop, wop, wop. By the way, you also feel with your brain. That's true. Wait. Missed old J. Scott Garrity. Sad to see him looking so ill. Also, the only person who drives the same streets of Philly talking about Daggerheart. Ghost Town in your chat? Not on our watch. Power up your stream with whatever. It is not a ghost town in my chat. Wait, so he's also pro-trans, but also pro-Trump? Yep. Twitch 2, no kick. I don't see you anywhere, buddy. Oh, so with Twitch 2, no kick. Well, we see on Twitch. So you get the I think you are bronze. You're bronze on Twitch. Genocide. You get that bronze on Twitch, that bronze on Twitch. If there's anything that I spoke about in this live stream or any other live stream that you would like me to go into more details on a future stream, please just holler at your boy in the description box below, and I will try to get on it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video or any of my other videos that I may ever make. Don't forget to follow me also on the Twitch and the Kick. Don't forget to follow me on Patreon. Hey, great way to support me is on Patreon because, you know, it's a way to support me. And I love you. I love you. I love you. Nobody told you they loved you today. Somebody just did. That somebody is me. Make of that what you will, because you will. Don't forget, even in a post-apocalyptic wasteland like Fallout, all the cards are still at play, which means there's still the option for a sunny day. I love you. Keep rocking and rolling. Keep on playing. Keep on playing. Keep on gaming. It's in the labyrinth that we find ourselves. Till next time.